Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined today with my good dear friends, Slothy and Brian. Slothy, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm not too bad. Back to work tonight, so quick record, get some sleep. It'll all be a good time. We played a fair number of games last night. We went for pretty long, like I think 5 or 6 hours, something like that. It's pretty good. We had both Brian and Sherman and Dean were over playing, so those were good times. There were some heavy games. You'll see on the YouTube stuff. If you're a patron, you'll see all those games early. If not, you'll see them as they roll out, and you can see me rage scoop in a game with a smile on my face. I was happy.
Good games. You missed the air quotes.
I liked all of the games regardless.
You do have a beautiful smile.
Yeah, I was. There were some good games. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm good after last night's slaughter.
Yeah, you were. Was that Edgar the first time you played that one?
That is the first successful game, actually. Yeah, I tried to bring it out last time I was out playing games on the weekend, but the land base I don't feel like it drew like a proper hand in like the 6 or 7 attempts that I tried.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave up on it. I just put it back in my box or my bag, and I was like, I'll work on this again and try it out some other time.
Okay, yeah, Edgar is a problem. Like, it's been a really, really strong deck for a long time, so.
Yeah, basically, I just go into it. I'll mulligan 6 or 7 times. If I don't get a decent hand, then I mulligan decks.
That's too many mulligans.
Hey, if it's not giving me lands, yeah, exactly.
Fair. Today we are talking, of course, about the All Will Be One spoilers. All Will Be One's pre-release stuff is out next week, so, well, not next week, this Friday, if you're listening to the episode, and if it's on YouTube by the time this one comes out, it'll be the release day this week. So there's a lot of cards.
Yeah, it really makes you think of which week is which videos are going to be coming out now.
Yeah, I have the episodes are going to be off by 1 week, so you'll see it if you're on the Patreon stuff that we're starting up, you'll see the videos live as well as like the live stream ones instead of 1 week at a time. But we'll talk Patreon things later. I had some thoughts about this set before. So first off, this is probably the set that has the most cards for decks that I want to upgrade. It's undeniable that this is just filled with really good cards. And
from what I've seen, yeah.
I was going to say, though, the problem is there's still going to be no time to breathe. They're not slowing the release schedule down, right? So this set is just crammed full of like expensive mythics that will really, really help out tons of playstyles. Like, I think this is a set that has something for everyone in it. The artworks are crazy. There's so much in this set. And it's going to really, really feel bad to try and upgrade this in between the next set, right? Like, it's there's a lot of very expensive cards. The Elish Norn foil that I want, the Junji Ito one, I think it's already sold out at $270 online. That's rough, right? That's rough to sink your teeth into, that you're going to have to get cards like that. Now, maybe not everyone wants that specific one, but I do. And yeah, like, it's so let's go into that.
It looks like it's doing the Wednesday dance.
We'll see when we get to it. Like I said, there's just going to be a ton of stuff to upgrade. So, like, with that, do you guys have any thoughts before we jump right into this one?
No, I also really like this set. I think there's a lot of fun toys and stuff, which I like.
Yeah.
Don't you shake your head at me. Yeah, that's
looking at them, I was like, there's too many. I was like, it's too much.
Alternate win cons.
Back in my day, I remember when Infect only had 10 cards.
That's true. Infect was not really viable. We'll jump right into it with a card that I think is just phenomenal.
Oh, what's my say?
Oh, go ahead.
You don't get one.
Go on, tell me your set, please.
I was an original fan of like those dark kind of charcoal arts for all the planeswalkers, so I'm really kind of excited to see those artwork come back, because these black and white like sketch works looked really neat to me with just shading.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents. Bye.
All right, now getting into it. So first off, This set to buy all the cards in paper is $3,000 almost. It's $2,889. Now, that could
who
be,
do I send my next 2 paychecks to?
That could be specifically because there's like 3 versions of everything, so you're getting billed the Mythics 3
versions.
Yeah, there's a lot, but it's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
See why Wizards doesn't do that, by the way. Place an order for one of every card, this price.
Full set? I would love to do like full set purchases.
But like if they're like if we're thinking about it, they're all for the money. And this is no longer just a trading card game where it's luck of the draw, luck of the pull.
But then
and they just want the money.
Boosters.
But hey, if you're getting $3,000 right off the hop, but people need more than one play style or more than one play set. So if I want to buy 4 of every single card, that's $12,000. If you're saying it's $3 grand per.
Well, I think that's, like I said, I think that's with all the artworks. But again, let's jump into this one. So the first one is All Will Be One, and I think this card's bonkers. It's 3 double red. It's an enchantment. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, all will be one deals that much damage to target opponent, creature an opponent controls, or planeswalker an opponent controls. That's wild. It's just like the ability to Ozolith, right? If you have 10 counters that go off of Ozolith when your creatures die, that's 10 counters to their face. You play a creature for combat, it goes back on, 10 more.
You know what? That blows low. Trax is not red. They made it in the single one color that Trax is not in.
Everyone was like making like fun of that. They're just like, why can't this go in my Atraxa deck?
Yeah, she's smack dab in the center, but yet I cannot throw it in my Atraxa deck.
That's how it's snoring.
Whoops. Sorry. It's early.
True. You want to take the Atraxa though, Brian?
Oh, gee willikers, do I? Okay. We got Atraxa Grand Unifier. 3 green, white, blue, and black. Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, Phyrexian Angel. When Atraxa Grand Unifier enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Artifact, battle?
Yeah. So keep reading, yeah.
Creature, enchantment, instant, land, planeswalker, and or sorcery and card types.
So
no, not instant? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
They didn't put instant and sorcery together.
So Atraxa is a 7/7, but they actually did something similar to this like way, way back when with Tarmogoyf, when the rules text kind of spoiled the planeswalkers were coming. So battle is going to be a new type of card that we're going to see in the upcoming stuff. They've already obviously designed some of that stuff. So people are kind of just left speculating what it is. I actually have no ideas. Like, I think I would have thought maybe something like a Clash mechanic, but Clash is already
or
on.
I could see it being almost like those enchantments that have different steps. Yeah, it was a battle, right? Yeah, it's a battle. Could have different stances or different offenses to your battle.
A battle could be fun too, as if it worked almost like a Chaos Warp thing, where like everyone battles, so we reveal the top cards of our library till we get a creature.
Or it's like war.
Yeah, whoever's creature's the biggest creature comes into play or something like that.
Time for some big flexes.
That could be cool. Yeah, we'll see.
I love all of these arts, but I do have to say I think the black and white one is my favorite.
I definitely agree.
Because especially the coloring, the shades of the mana symbols up at the top. I really like those shades, actually.
Yeah, you're talking 357?
Yeah, 57.
That's a good one. Slothy, you want this next one?
Yeah. Next up, we got Capricious Hellraiser, 3 in triple red. It's a 4/4 Phyrexian dragon. Spell costs 3 less to cast if you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard. It's got flying. And whenever Capricious Hellraiser enters the battlefield, exile 3 cards at random from your graveyard. Choose a non-creature, non-land card from among them and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that one.
Land. Yeah, really, really good for getting your artifacts and stuff back. Like, one of the next ones we have is Drivnod. This is like a new cycle of cards, and everything in this cycle is just crazy. I like all of them. Drivnod Carnage Dominus is 3 double black for a 8/3 Phyrexian Horror, which is pretty weird stats for sure. It's if a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So extremely good for like a Taste of Karlov kind of deck. For Brian's like Ellis, what is it, Ellis Core?
Ellis Ilcor.
Yeah, Ellis Ilcor. Like any of those like aristocrat themed decks, like these are really like this is going to be invaluable. And then 2 Phyrexia and black mana, exile 3 creature cards from your graveyard, and you can put an indestructible counter on Drifnod. It's just really, really cool. And the artworks on it are really interesting. The last one is, crazy.
I really like the last one.
I have to take the next one too.
Just saying, it's a lich. He has a staff. He's a skeleton. It's a lich.
You get it.
Let's call it as we see it.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, if we just had D&D, let's get some names in there.
All right. So now it's time for a quick conversation about which of these, I think 10 artworks, is it, Slothy?
Yep.
Is the best. I'm going to first read it. This is to me, the chase card of this set, the card I want the most, and the card that I need for mini decks. I say repeatedly every time, like a broken parrot, that I like enter the battlefield and landfall. Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, is silly, a bonkers card. It's 4 and a white for a 4/7 Phyrexian Praetor. So same stats as normal Elish Norn. Has Vigilance. It has, if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, you get an additional trigger. I love it. I love every part about it. You can't change my mind on it. It's amazing. Then we've got permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. That's also crazy. Also, really quickly, I do have to go back. Speaking of that, with the All Will Be One, you can technically just play at Dark Depths and do 20 damage to someone. I just wanted to mention that as well. Dark Depths comes in with 20 ice counters.
Ooh.
Is it 20? I thought it was 10.
Might be 10. Is it 10? Well, if you have Elish Norn, it'll deal 20. I think it might be 10. You're right. I think 20 might be crazy.
Enters with 10. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The same thing. Play a land, bolt 10.
Yeah.
All right. All right, now back to Elish Norn. First off, this card's amazing. Second off, there's so many good artworks of it. Just normal, like the set number 10 card, is really, really cool. That's like one of the background pictures for the Phyrexia All Will Be One. It's the same as the Phyrexian version of it. It's very, very cool. I am obsessed with the horror version done by Junji Ito. That's number 415. I just think that
the Wednesday dance.
I don't know what kind of Wednesday dance you're thinking, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but first off, what a great looking card. This is amazing artwork. Junji Ito stuff's crazy, but like, why did they everyone's making like the jokes about this like deck, like everyone's like calling it like Mom Harmonicon and like Mommy Machine, like everyone like just loves this card so much, like all of them.
You can't say that everybody loves it when they wanted to ban it.
No, the rules committee doesn't love it. There's 415 and 419. I don't really know what the difference between them is.
I'm loving 345 and 298.
One's foil, one's non-foil.
Maybe it's from the Phyrexian one. What did you say you like, Brian?
296 and 345.
Yeah, those are good ones. These are you really like that black and white style, hey?
Yeah, I think it looks so nice.
Yeah, this is like I said, this is a card that I'm definitely chasing after pretty aggressively.
How many boxes you buying?
None. I'm straight buying power singles of this set. Am I going to spend $2,000 on Elish Norns? Probably. They're like $70 a piece right now, and I have a lot of decks, and a lot of those decks really need it.
No, that totally makes sense.
They don't want it, they need it.
But for the sake of time, because I'm sure that we could do an entire episode on this.
On how
we
much
do
I
have
like
the
Elish Norn.
Yeah, Ichor Moon Gauntlet, 2 and a blue. And again, the black and white is... I'm loving the shade of blue on this. Yeah. So planeswalkers you control have pay 0, proliferate, and pay 12. Take an extra turn after this one. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent. Put an additional counter on that of that kind on that permanent. Obviously, this is going to be going in everyone's Atraxa planeswalker decks.
Well, or just Atraxa. Every time you cast anything non-creature, you get a proliferate version.
Yeah.
Not technically a proliferate, because proliferate is all counters on that permanent, but still, it's doing what you want it to do.
Exactly.
It's a really good card, like, and especially that's not an expensive one, and this really actually increases the value of the War of the Spark Planeswalkers that typically don't have the ability to go up in loyalty.
This would definitely allow them.
Yeah. Slothy, you want to take this next one?
Yeah. Another one that has a stupid amount of arts. Jace the Perfected Mind. 2 blue and a Phyrexian blue for 5 mana Legendary Planeswalker Jace. He's got completed. So if you pay with 2 life on the Phyrexian mana, enters with 2 fewer loyalty counters. +1 until your next turn. Up to 1 target creature gets -3/-0. -2. Target player mills 3 cards. Then if a graveyard has 20 or more cards in it, you draw 3 cards. Otherwise, you draw a card. And -X. Target player mills 3 times X cards.
It's a pretty crazy one. If you have like a lot of these decks run like a doubling season kind of thing, that means that this Jace is hitting as a 10 and you can mill people like 30 on the drop.
It's disgusting.
That's pretty gross, yeah. There's
like the arts for him, he's called the Jace the Perfect Mind, but like they have him stabbing himself in the heart or pulling something from his heart. Like, why wouldn't you have something working on his mind?
Don't think about it too much.
Yeah.
Jace the Perfected Heart doesn't make sense.
True.
I do love the completed aspect, like just that term. I really like it.
I don't know where they're going with the story on this. Like,
yeah,
a lot of people don't seem to like the fact that like they're trying to just like remove the. Because here's the thing: the War of the Spark ended the main story that most of us have been following the whole time we've played Magic. That was really, really built up. That was masterfully done set. Just like story-wise, theme-wise, Nicobolas, blah, 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 blah. So they're trying, I know they have to try set up new bad guys, and they have to try and set up new planeswalkers, right? It can't just forever be Gideon and Jace, blah, blah, blah. But this doesn't seem like a great way to like lose these planeswalkers. I don't know, like it just feels...
It feels cheap.
It just
these really strong
weak.
planeswalkers
like,
become stronger?
They're the whole like, oh, now they're on the side of the Phyrexians. It just, I don't know.
They switch teams.
It just seems weak. I don't like. It seems like weak writing to me.
Nothing more original.
Yeah, well, it just seems like a desperate attempt to not have like a good ending to their story. So they try. And again, maybe you guys like the completed aspect. Maybe I'm out to lunch on this one.
I just like the term. Right? I just like the term.
Yeah, no. The term is cool, and the concept would have been cool if it was 1 or 2. But it's everyone. It's like all the main planeswalkers, and suddenly, none of the new ones managed to. It's annoying. I think.
They all went there to fight, and they all got completed.
No, a bunch of them didn't even get completed. They're going to fight. Like a Johnny being the sleeper agent's been that the whole time. It's a lot. It's a lot to follow the story. I assume they're going to do something kind of like the Sarkhan retcon, where there's like, this was a different timeline, and Teferi just changed it all. Well, yeah, we'll see. Anyways, that's my rant aside. We've got Luca Bond to Ruin. It's 2, 1 red, 1 Gruul hybrid, and 1 green. Same thing. All of these planeswalkers have the completed. If they're completed ones, you lose 2 life if you pay the hybrid. Or 2 loyalty. +1, add 1 green, 1 red. Spend it only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. -3. You create a 1/1 green Phyrexian beast creature token with toxic 1. And -4. Luca deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers, where X is the greatest power among creatures you controlled as you activated it.
It's cool stuff.
Yeah, you guys get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
It's doing the same thing as like every other Gruul planeswalker.
Toxic really quickly as well is the it's not quite infect. So it's you still with infect damage replaced with -1/-1 counters or in like poison counters. Toxic 1 is if it deals damage, you get that damage in addition to 1 poison counter, or if it's toxic 4 poison counters.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I hit you for 50 damage, it's still only 4 poison counters, as opposed to the other, and your creatures aren't taking -1s.
Oh, okay. So they kind of improved it?
Yeah.
A smidgen?
I cannot say the name of this next card as it is
Mondrak?
referred to. No, I can say that one, as it's referred to online.
Oh, is it like the Phyrexian butthole or something?
You're not too wrong. But anyways, Brian, go ahead and read it.
We got Mondrak. Mondrak Glory Dominus. 2/2 white. legendary creature, Phyrexian Horror. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. 1 white Phyrexian, sacrifice 2 other artifacts and or creatures. Put a indestructible counter on Mondrak Glory Dominus.
What if Anointed Procession could be your commander?
Right?
That's good. That's going to be an expensive card.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I want to know what this thing was prior to it becoming a Phyrexian. Or was it just made this way?
No idea. It's I think that is actually like a really cool ability.
It looks neat.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot of places in decks.
Oh, 100%. Like, I don't think, like, a lot of, like, the mono-white commanders that would create counters or tokens, right? Like, you only have one mana doubler within that color, or one doubler within that color.
Well, and especially spirits. Spirits are a great tribe. And the only thing that doubles those spirit tokens right now, like you said, is Anointed Procession. And what's Anointed Procession at? Like, right now, like, $40?
Not enough.
It's up there.
Yeah, like, it's, Mondrak is going to be a card that definitely sits there. It's more fetchable than enchantments. It's more recurable than enchantments. Like, people can get a creature back so much easier than an enchantment.
Buddy, this in green-white? Ooh.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, right? Mondrak is going to become... This is what I was saying at the beginning. There's going to be so many staple cards in this set. Like, we're obviously not going to get through all of them. Today, we might even do a second version of it next week as the thing goes. I just want to get through the mythics, at least. But we'll see. We'll see where it is.
I'm loving all these art for it.
Yeah.
Actually, the black and white one, if this is foil, like, that's gonna be so nice. Actually, I think all of those swirly bits in the background is going to be dope.
Yep.
I really like the the $2.99 style of art on that.
That slick one, yeah.
Yeah, like, I really like that one on the Elish Norn. Yeah, Elish Norn as well. That's pretty.
Yeah, like I said, they knew exactly what they were doing with this set. Like I said, there's something for everyone in this that we all must have.
But you know what? We were saying that there's a lot of powerful cards that they can't print. And I think so far, like, coming out with, like, some of these cards that we've seen, I think they've done a great job with bringing out other staples in a newer way.
Yeah.
So I will applaud Wizards there, even though they're butchering everything else.
They're power creeping it still, right? That's a problem for some people. Like, there is that constant, because again, like, Anointed Procession's a great card. When you're running it, it's like a staple card in the deck, and they're like, here's a second effect. And I always say that the C in CEDH is for consistency. So the more versions you have of that same effect, the more consistent you are, and the more annoying your deck can be. Dean, you know who you are.
Yeah, Dean.
Yeah. I'll take this next one too here. We've got Nahiri the Unforgiving. It's one red, one hybrid of, what is that, Boros hybrid, and one white. It's completed, +1 until your next turn, up to one target creature attacks a player, each combat available. Meh. +1, discard a card, then draw a card. And 0, exile target creature or equipment card with mana value less than Nahiri's Loyalty from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it. That token gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step. Meh. I think it's
Boros was doing so good.
Yeah. I think it's a phenomenally weak mythic, and especially compared to, like, the Jace, or the reason I took this one is so Slothy can have this one.
They just made Nahiri into, like, a chef. She's just in the kitchen chopping up stuff.
It's not, I don't know. But yeah, here's the next Planeswalker on the list. Like, let's compare. Yeah. You could get Nahiri, or
you could get Nissa Ascended Animist, which is 3 double green and double Phyrexian green. Starts with 7 loyalties, got completed. +1, create an XX green Phyrexian Horror creature token where X is Nissa Ascended Animist's loyalty. So that's immediately getting a massive creature. You can -1, destroy target art.
That's dropping an 8/8. So Nissa comes out with an 8/8 to protect itself.
Mm-hmm.
Or, again, with a doubling season, Nissa comes out with a 16/16 to protect itself.
No, yeah. It would be more than that, because you'd be adding the +1, so you get 2.
No, I know, that's what I mean.
And that would be with it.
Yeah, that's the double.
Oh yeah, sorry, 7, 7, 14.
I can do math. It's the one thing I can do. Don't watch the shorts on YouTube, or I can't do math.
But you can easily drop this so easily. It's in green, so even if I'm completing it and I'm using the 2 for life,
the fact then, yeah, you're still getting a 6/6 to protect itself. That's a big creature.
Or even say if you're dropping it turn, like I could easily see this turn 3 or turn 4.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or even
that
earlier.
Phyrexian man is no joke.
Yeah, if you're willing to have it come in as a will that be a 3 loyalty planeswalker?
Yeah.
Still.
But then you're getting a 4/4 blocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're blowing up someone's artifact or enchantment.
Well, and again, we got to remember we're on the first ability. What's the rest of the card do?
You've also got -1, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and you got a -7. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 for each forest you control and gain trample.
Yeah.
So that or Nahiri.
It's the fact that you can dump this in as the win con.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's ultable from the get-go.
Yep.
So it's a late game ultable. And again, like we were saying with the Nahiri stuff, look at the artworks. Look at 175. Look at 339. Look at the Phyrexian version. Like, yeah,
So
it's going to be a bummer to even like Brian likes this, like the black and white ones, right? Like that 362. That's like a creepy looking card.
That kind of reminds me of the movie Species.
Yeah, right. Like,
but is she that snake, or whatever that is, or is she just groping it?
I don't know. I don't know what
it
she is.
looks like she's groping it.
There's no pole dancing in Phyrexia. There's tentacle dancing.
Phyrexia goes silly. They're reprinting the Obliterator, a card that's super just welcome. I'll take the reprint so Brian could take the next one. It's Quadra black for a 5/5 Phyrexian Horror. Trample. Whenever a source deals damage to it, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. Blasphemous Act Me Now.
Yeah, right.
Yep. The new versions of it are very cool.
351, boy.
Yep. Take this one though, Brian, because I wanted you to see this one.
Phyrexian Vindicator. Again, the 347 artwork. Okay, so we got Phyrexian Vindicator here. 4 white, Quadra white, Phyrexian Horror, flying. If damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent that damage. When damage is prevented this way, Phyrexian Vindicator deals that much damage to any other target. So they just gave white like that goblin.
Yeah, like a Brash Taunter kind of effect.
That's fun.
Yeah. Again, also Blasphemous Act Me. Slothy.
Could you build it up like Brash Taunter almost?
Yeah, you could.
It would work the exact same way. Yeah.
This is what's it called? It's a phenomenal blocker as well. Like especially in a white decks like this. Technically not an angel, but angel-esque enough that I would put it in angel decks.
Actually, I take it back. I like the other artwork for 425 and 300.
Yeah.
I like the harpy kind of looking one. Yep.
Yeah.
The what one?
The harpy.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a harpy, or say like some sort of demonic bird
with its chainsaw sword. Yeah.
Does it still have it? It does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a pretty wild one. You want this next one here, Slothy? The next one in that Dominus.
Sure. So we've got Solfim Mayhem Dominus, 2 in double red for a 5/4 Phyrexian Horror. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. And you can pay 1 and Phyrexian red, and discard 2 cards. Put an indestructible counter on Solfim.
I should have gotten like a choir hit, like ready, like Dominus.
It's more like Doominus.
Yeah, these are wild cards. Like this whole section has a lot of
He's oozing lava.
That's art for 312 is some of my favorite art that I've seen.
Yeah, it's like good terror artwork.
That's like when a nuke happens and vaporizes everyone. It's like that flash photography.
They did a new Staff of Domination. In the form of Staff of Completion. So it's 3 mana. You tap it, pay 1 life, destroy target permanent you own. Very interesting ability, and like really, really good in something like a Beamtown Bullies deck where you don't want it to hit the end step and get exiled kind of thing. You want to destroy it. Stuff like that. Like it's interesting. It
also lets you save creatures when someone goes to exile it.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I'll blow up my own stuff.
Yeah, because you can recur. It's much easier to get back from the grave than exile. But also just like there's some things that if like an Ugin's Nexus, if it's put into the graveyard, take an extra turn after this one. You pay 1 life, take your extra turn.
Yeah.
Right? Has a tap, pay 2 life, add 1 mana of any color. Tap, pay 3 life, proliferate, which is actually a very good ability. Tap, pay 4 life, draw a card. That's getting a little steep, but in life gain, to be honest, in a life gain deck, that is like a mono white life gain, a 3 mana thing where you're just paying 4 life to draw. That's nothing for Brian wasn't even playing life gain last night, and he was at 100 life.
Yeah, my vampire deck.
Yeah, and then 5 mana, you can untap Staff of Completion. So I don't know how I feel about this one. Like I'm sure someone more clever than me can think of something really cool to do with it. Like
the altered art is so much better.
Yeah. Brian, you want the sword?
The sword of Forge and Frontier. 3 colorless, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and from green. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. You may play an additional land this turn. An equipped cost is 2.
I'm not super sold on it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The amount of mez that we saw in the comments is funny.
Yeah, it's first off, I think it's the artwork. I think it's Chris Rand that's done all of the other sword artwork, so it's pretty odd that they would just add a new one without it. Mm-hmm. But it's just like the artwork of like the normal one. It looks silly. It looks like a kid's toy.
They even had 2 different artists do the 2 different versions.
Right? I don't know. Maybe some people like it. I'm just not a giant fan of that one.
I'm sorry, Dan. They took away the next octopus for you.
Yeah, right. It's not technically an octopus, but it'll go in that deck for sure because my
labeling.
My Octavia is an infect deck, so.
And again, Wizards, let's call it as we see them. That's definitely a Phyrexian octopus horror.
The Phyrectopus?
Yeah, exactly.
Slothy, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. We've got Tekuthrall, Inquiry Dominus, 3/5 Phyrexian horror with flying. If you proliferate twice instead, you can pay 1 Phyrexian blue to remove 3 counters from among other artifacts, creatures, or planeswalkers you control. Put an indestructible counter on Tekuthrall, Inquiry Dominus.
So, first off, there's not a single Atraxa deck that doesn't benefit from this. This is like a must-have in Atraxa. Like, I hate calling cards must-haves, but like, if your commander's built on a proliferate theme, like, it's a must-have.
What was the guy, the magic guy? I can't remember what his name is.
Sheldon.
But he's like, no, not Sheldon. From Wizards, I think it is. They're like, we're going to be making any more staple cards. We don't believe in staples.
Yeah. We don't believe in staples. This is, it's good. It's really, really good. Like I've got a lot of decks that are like proliferate stuff. Any of the experience counter things, like I've got the Azuri one, that's really great. Experiment Crash, where I'm putting counters on everything and proliferating all the time so I can get those abilities off. Like, yeah, it's a good card. I play Tanazir, the Boros. I call it my basically Boros deck. It's the Simic Dragon from Strixhaven. Mm-hmm. And that's really, really proliferate heavy because it puts counters on when it enters.
Oh, that's the blue-green one? Yeah, I have that. Yeah. I have that in my Atraxa deck.
Yeah, I call it basically Boros because it is basically a Boros deck, just in different colors. Yeah, it's like I said, I could talk about this one all day. It's another great card. We have Tyrannus Rex. It is...
You better give him the respect he deserves.
What, the Phyrexian dinosaur?
Yes.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you take it. You take the big dinosaur. Oh, yeah, you like dinosaurs. Brian, please.
This A looks like a dinosaur, and B also looks like a xenomorph from Aliens. So I love everything about the look of this card.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyrannus Rex, 4/3 green, Phyrexian dinosaur, roar. The spell can't be countered, trample, ward 4, and haste at toxic 4. This would probably be the only poisonous card I'll play with.
To be honest, I had not fully read this card. This is an 8/8 at 7, or that can't be countered. Already great stats. Trample, phenomenal. Take away any of its, take away 3 of its stats on this card, and this is a great card. But ward 4, like
3.
Ward is rough,
especially using the ward guy, artifact one in Urza, and when you copy him, like, so you have to pay 12 to target any of my enchants now if I have 3 copies of him.
Yep. This the Tyrannix Rex actually it's a pretty powerful card, especially like more for standard. Like if you can drop something like this in a standard game, it's kind of good night. And also the let's not forget this. Infect is dealt as poison counters the damage. This is anyone who's dealt any combat damage by this gets 4 poison counters. So even taking 1 damage from the mighty dinosaur here.
Yeah, if it tramples over.
Yeah, it hits you with 4. So they can put whatever blockers they want. You can just be like, I'll assign none to them and roll over this one creature.
That's funny.
That's a rough one. We got Vraska Betrayal Sting. 4/1 blue or 4/1 black, 1 Phyrexian black. Again, completed with 6 mana. It's 0, you draw a card, you lose a life, proliferate. That's a phenomenal 0.
Really good.
Yeah. -2, target creature becomes a treasure artifact token with tap, sack it, add 1 mana of any colors, and loses all other card types. Because why not, right? It's not as annoying.
Love it.
It's not as annoying as Oko, but like Brian casts his 10. Yeah, who would win? Brian's 10 mana Dragon or my -2? The Treasure, right? And then it's
He Oko'd my Soul Ring.
Yeah. Then it's -9. If target player has fewer than 9 poison counters, they get a number of poison counters equal to the difference. So again, if you're like playing like a Chain Veil deck, as many of these nonsense Atraxas do, and have the doubling season out, this comes in as a 12, you -9, target player gets 9 poison counters, and then you 0, draw a card, proliferate, and kill them. Yeah. It's gross. Not much else to say about it. It's just gross. It's really cool artwork too. Like it's very, very I can't even think of the name. StarCraft. What am I thinking, Brian?
Oh,
Kerrigan?
Kerrigan.
Yeah. Very, very Kerrigan-esque with the Zergs.
Yeah, 337 and 442 have my vote. The black and white one's not my favorite, that one.
Yep. Yeah, that's just.
It looks
cool
like she has the hounds, like you said, the Zergs. Like that's what it kind of reminds me of. Yeah.
It just makes me want to play StarCraft. So does the next one, kind of, to be honest.
A lot of these do really have that calling back to StarCraft.
Slothy, you want to finish off our Dominus cycle?
Yes.
Dominus.
So we've got Zopendrel, Hunger Dominus, 5 double green for a 4/6 Phyrexian Horror with Reach. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. You can pay 2 hybrid green, sacrifice 2 other creatures, and put an indestructible counter on Zopendrel, Hunger Dominus.
So that's a lot to take into. First off, that just means when you go to combat, this is an 8/12. So that's a problem.
This is unnatural growth as a creature.
Yeah,
and reach.
That's a problem. And it's each combat, so it's on opponent's turns as well. And reach, yes. And if you are playing a multi-combat deck, this will continue every combat. Yeah. Becomes an 8/12, then it becomes a 16/24, and then a 32/48. Bonk.
If you do put it in green-red with the Minotaur guys, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, anything that's extra combats is just gonna.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It's gonna be like, hey, what's up? I actually might put this in. I'm in the middle of building Arcades Sabbath, the Defender one.
Yeah,
and this kind of fits in with that because doubling the power and toughness of my defenders would make them 0/13s in a lot of them.
I could see that. Definitely put in work there. Because it is also then increasing the toughness as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Double. And normally that's not a big deal, but in those defender decks, it's a lot. Yeah, Zopandrel's a pretty cool one. Let's rip through a few of these rares pretty quick here as well.
Yeah.
You want to start us off, Slothy, in that one?
Sure. First off, we've got Archfiend of the Dross, 2 double black for a 6/6 Phyrexian Demon with flying. Enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. And at the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from Archfiend of the Dross. And then if it has no oil counters on it, you lose the game. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life.
Yeah.
Good. Not a fan of this one.
You don't like it?
I don't like this one.
Oh, I like it. Just that whenever a creature an opponent controls dies. And the 6/6 at 4.
6/6 at 4, but I don't like the 4-turn clock that it gives you.
That's fair.
Especially if you're playing with things that remove, or against people that remove counters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one.
I just cool. Kill it.
I did have to read one more that I don't know if it's on this list as well. It's a set booster exclusive. I played it last night. I built this immediately. It's Urtet Remnant of Memnarch. I would be remiss to not talk about it. It's three colorless for a 2/2 mirror. Whenever you cast a mirror spell, you create a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token, which is great. Beginning of combat on your turn, you untap each mirror you control. Also great. And then it has a Wooburg effect, making a 5-color commander to tap, put 3 1/1 counters on each mirror you control, and you can activate it only during your turn. That being said, if you have 10 Wooburg, you can, if you have, let's say all of the mirrors, like Silver Mirror, blah, blah, blah. You can tap them all, give all your mirrors +3. This untaps all of them, and then you can do it again on your turn as well. Things giving vigilance in this deck where you can untap like that. It's definitely a cool commander, and it's very fun. That was a cool
very
commander.
Fun until you play against Dean.
It's still another one that I was still having fun with it. It was going pretty well. Again, we just got Staxed out of the game. It is what it is, but it's one I'm definitely looking forward to play. Mirror's such a cool tribe, so.
I really enjoy that they gave or brought back some more love to the mirrors, because I really did enjoy them as a creature type, because I stopped playing around Mirrodin when I saw that first print set of mirrors and then I stopped playing. So I'm really happy to see some more come in.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I also really like this other section, what's the word I'm thinking here? Cycle that they're doing. So Blue Sun Zenith was a card we all play. We've got the Twilight segment of it. So instead of Black Sun Zenith, we've got Black Sun's Twilight. So starting off, some of these I think are not as good. The white one is insane. The white one's possibly one of the best cards that's ever been printed. Don't scroll down and look early, Brian.
I'm at Black Sun's Twilight.
I see that face. Anyway, so Black Sun's Twilight is X and a black for an instant. Up to one target creature gets -X/-X till end of turn. If X is 5 or more, return a creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That's great removal and great recursion.
It's a win-win. And I guess just to kind of help get through a few, there is a new cycle of lands. It's lands that come into play. Untapped.
Those are all reprint ones.
Yeah. Oh, are they all reprints?
Yeah. The past lands,
They're the same names? Okay.
Yeah.
I like the altered arts, I'll be honest. I think
those are definitely going to look pretty slick in foils.
I wanted to say a word before the but yeah.
Yeah. All right, Brian, do you want to take this blade?
Sure. We got Blade of Shared Souls, 2 and a blue. Artifact equipment for Mirrodin. When this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token, then attach this to it. When Blade of Shared Souls becomes attached to a creature for as long as Blade of Shared Souls remains attached to it, you may have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control, and equip cost is 2. And say what?
Yeah, it automatically comes in equipped, which is pretty great. A 3-mana clone is awesome.
Pardon?
Right?
I like that, actually.
Slothy, you want this other
blue card
thing?
What was that?
You want this Zergling looking green thing?
Yeah. This next one is Bloated Contaminator, 2 and a green for a 4/4 Phyrexian beast with trample and toxic 1. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. I love this card. This one.
That's a great one.
I really like this one. I think for 3 mana that's
again, that's phenomenal to go into.
Atraxa.
Well, yeah. And as well, a 4/4 at 3 mana is great. Very powerful. Go ahead.
One thing that I will say, actually, let me pull it up real quick. I really like how they're giving upgrade options to the precons.
Yep.
In this set. Because my favorite card from this entire thing is Exile Scion of Atraxa, which for 1 white, black, green, 2/5 legendary Phyrexian angel with flying vigilance and toxic 2. And then at the beginning of your end step, each opponent who has 3 or more poison counters exiles the top card of their library face down. You may look at it and play them for as long as they remain exiled. And you may spend mana or mana of any color to cast those spells.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I really like how they're supporting that tons in the main set.
Well, yeah, you usually don't like the precons, right? Yeah.
Usually it's a little bit iffy. I think the last one that I was really all over was Wilhelt.
Yeah,
What's that?
But
that's the Wilhelt is the zombie one.
Okay.
yeah, but this one's been phenomenal.
I'm gonna rip through these two ones because they're both lovely. We got Blue Sun's Twilight, X double blue. It's sorcery. You gain control of target creature with X or less mana value. If X is 5 or more, you create a token that's a copy of that creature. That is actually a very good card. I do wish it was instant, but I understand that like being able to dump 7 mana to take anything 5 or less and make 2 of them is pretty rough. So
You're in blue. You have so many different ways to be casting this as an instant.
that's true.
Yeah.
Quicken it. The next one I want to talk about as well is Crucible of Worlds is crazy. It's a very expensive card. So we've got Conduit of Worlds, and generally Crucible of Worlds is going into decks that have green. Green is the land shenanigans, generally speaking. Conduit of Worlds is 2 double green. It's an artifact. You can play lands from your graveyard, which is just a great other place to like make it so people can actually access that kind of strategy. But it also has tap, choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. This
I
is
like that.
Yeah, phenomenal recursion. I like that it lets you get that land back that you need. So that's great for many strategies, and it gives you that consequence of like you're playing nothing else, but you can get what you need back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jumping the next card because I want to talk about something that is a thing of nightmares, which is Encroaching Microsynth. The artwork is terrifying to me.
Yeah, let's just skip the next card in general. Yeah, that Dragonwing Glider. It's an equipment. Boohoo. Okay.
This artwork terrified me. So Encroaching Microsynth is 3 and a blue artifact. Non-land permanents you control are artifacts in addition to their other types. The same is true for permanent spells you control and non-land permanent cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So does it make everything in your deck artifact?
Yeah, it's Microsynth Lattice for you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. But yeah, no, that's just terrifying. As good of a card, I might not get it because it's a thing of nightmares.
So is the next card, to be honest. Sloth, you want that one?
Sure. Next up, we've got Evolved Spinoderm, 2 in double green for a 5/5 Phyrexian Beast. Enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. It enters it has trample as long as it has 2 or fewer oil counters on it. Otherwise, it has hexproof. And at the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from Evolved Spinoderm. Then, if it has no oil counters on it, sacrifice it.
The alt arts are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
I really don't like the alt art of the next card at all, even a little bit. Do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's different. I think it's still better than Faithless Looting.
You're not wrong there. This one's not so much my style. It's the oil slick one, and I think it looks cool. And I think maybe some of my opinions will change seeing them once they're foiled as well.
Yeah, I can't draw for anything, so I really shouldn't be criticizing someone else's artwork.
But I do, I do really, really like first off, I love the flavor text on both of these ones. This is Azuri Stalker of Spheres, by the way. So flavor text on both first is, my old friends, have you decided at last to stop clinging to the past and join me in the grand pursuit of perfection? And the other one is, who is an enemy but a friend who has not yet to accept perfection?
Oh, okay. I do like all the flavor text there.
Pretty good, right? When Azuri Stalker of Spheres enters the battlefield, you may pay 3. If you do, proliferate twice, which is a very good card to blink. And whenever you proliferate, draw a card. Again, very, very strong in Atraxa and all of those other decks that I was talking about, like any of those Boros ones that are running those, like a Pure and Toothy deck kind of thing. Like, yeah.
Buddy, you're mixing up your terms.
What do you mean?
Boros is white-red.
Boros, Boros, the Boros that's green and blue. Simic Boros. Yeah. Well, we'll just pretend I know what I'm talking about.
It's early, guys. It's early. We promise.
The next one, too, I also want to talk about because of how good it is for the tribe that it is. It's Geth, the Thane of Contracts, which is 1 double black, 3/4 Phyrexian zombie, and zombie's really popular right now. Other creatures you control get -1/-1, not that big of a deal. It's 1 double black, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains if it would leave, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else, activate only as a sorcery. I like this reanimate style. I don't think that -1/-1 is strong enough to care.
Yeah.
The flavor text, it seems someone forgot to read the fine print.
Yeah. I like that. It's well, and especially if you're reanimating things that just care about dies for 3, right? You can have them die, then you can return them for 3. Like the fact that you can get your creatures back for a really good example is you can discard an Eldrazi card to the grave. Oh no, this only activate only as a sorcery. Okay, I was going to say you could instant speed do it. You can instant speed do it with Geth, so you can't get your Eldrazi. Boo-hoo. But still good. Seems
Next up,
I
we
forgot
have...
to read the fine print, Brian.
Yeah, you certainly did. We have Glissa Sunslayer, 1 black-green, legendary creature, Phyrexian zombie elf, first strike and death touch. Whenever Glissa Sunslayer deals combat damage to a player, choose one. You draw a card and you lose 1 life, destroy target enchantment, or remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. And the oil art I really enjoy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really cool card.
Yeah, I'm actually really digging that.
That would also be something fun to get Dark Depths off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you talking this next one here, Slothy?
I was just saying this card right here is exactly why I didn't like the Archfiend.
Okay. Oh, the remove, yes. Okay.
The Glissa, yeah.
Yeah, because you can remove it so fast, and then like you remove one, I hit you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second turn, or the Stun Slayer comes out and then swings at you after you already removed one, so you only got 1 turn of it.
First strike death touch as well is a great stats on a commander. It makes attacking much less dangerous.
3/3.
Yo, at first strike, a death touch.
Yeah.
They don't even get to touch your 3/3.
Nuh-uh.
I love this artwork for the next card, and I don't know what it does yet. Goliath Hatchery is 4 double green. It's just beautiful artwork. Very cool. When it enters, you create 2 3/3 Phyrexian beast creature tokens with toxic 1. So 6/6 enchantment that makes you 6 power, and the 6 has toxic 1. Corrupted. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters, choose a creature you control, then draw cards equal to its toxic value.
Oh, wow.
I like that. That's pretty cool, especially for
That
a
could be
toxic theme deck.
interesting.
Yeah, I think that we're going to see some toxic Atraxas.
Oh, no doubt.
Both in terms and in play styles, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The artwork for this next one.
I just saw it. That's so silly. The second one, I love it.
Scream face in the center.
That's a pretty good one. I may actually build this one.
This is
That's
so
so
funny.
awesome. That ability. That's wicked.
Please read it. I can't.
Okay, so this is a really cool card. Graz Unstoppable Juggernaut is an 8-mana legendary artifact Juggernaut. It's a 7/5. Juggernauts you control attack each combat if able. Juggernauts you control can't be blocked by walls. Other creatures you control have base power and toughness 5/3 and are Juggernauts in addition to their other creature types.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. Like that's
Can't take it seriously.
that's a pretty cool. That's actually a pretty cool like commander because like lots of colorless stuff will make you your Thopters and everything like that. And now,
it's like 5/3s.
Well, your Ornithopter becomes a 5/3 Juggernaut. In addition to its other types, it's the Juggerthopter.
Oh, Kute, great work on the artwork. I applaud you. I needed these laughs this morning.
Yo, also, by the way, these, I forgot to say as well, I'm going to take the next one too, because I have to. The artworks on all of these Twilights are just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Shouldered on the black, the Jingitaxis on the blue, but specifically the Vorinclex on this green. What a terrifying artwork. And like, can you imagine seeing something like that in person? Like, if you haven't seen this artwork, look at this monster thing to really understand how big it is. Like, Vorinclex is huge. Both.
But which one do you like more?
To be honest, I'm in love with all of them. Both of these versions are beautiful.
Like 264 is my favorite.
Yeah, I like the buy box promo so much.
Is that what the buy box promo is?
I'm assuming.
Oh, it says
so.
it says
That's what it says on the card.
Are all of these buy box promos no? Just that one, just as cool. Well, okay. I still, again, don't know what it does because I didn't read most of these. Back to it. You reveal the top X+1 cards of your library. Choose a creature and or land from among them. Put those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is 5 or more, instead put the chosen cards onto the battlefield or into your hand and the rest on the bottom. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, if you dump 5 into X, you can get it. It's not a creature with X or less, so you can put a Blightsteel on with this. Put those cards in your hand. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty great. A 6 mana, like, dump a creature from the top. It's not hard to top deck control. And it's going to get you a land both into play at 6. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Then next up, we've got Jorkadeen, first Gold Warden.
I have to interrupt you. The difference of artworks of these is, like, it doesn't even look like it's the same game.
Right? Are you looking at the League of Legends artwork now?
What, like, the... It sounds ignorant, but that first artwork sucks. Look at the second artwork. Look at this insane thing. And then this MS Paint one.
That's a good.
Even if it went with the style of the original Jorkadeen.
Yeah, like the face.
I would have liked that. Yeah.
Brian, you just like my descriptions, hey?
Yeah. I thought it was a little bit mean.
Mean or not, it is what it is. Like, it's like the art is what draws me to this game, and if I don't like the artwork, I'm going to say it. And again, there is no right or wrong way. If you like the MS Paint art and that's the one you want to play, I'm not going to say like you can't play it.
Sorry, we rule zeroed this. You're not allowed to use this one.
Anyway, sorry for my outburst. I have low blood sugar. Please carry on.
So it's red and a white for a 2/2 legendary human rebel with trample. And whenever Jorkadeen first Gold Warden attacks, it gets +X at a turn, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control. Then if Jorkadeen's power is 4 or greater, draw a card.
That's actually wicked.
I quite enjoy that.
Yeah, that's actually a wicked card.
Yeah, I really, really like that.
Yeah.
This next one looks like they took a picture of someone and then put his face on top of the art.
It looks so realistic. This drawing is crazy. Brian, please take it.
They instead of the sloth, they have a raccoon.
Are you seeing
this trash panda in the background?
Yeah, the decapitated panda.
Is he decapitated or is he just?
I will let you know.
Looks like his body is in like.
Yeah, well, Brian, that's what happens when you're decapitated. Your body's elsewhere.
Well, no, it still looks like he has his arms.
No, look.
It looks like he's a block figure.
Look on the other artwork as well. There's also the head.
Okay. Artwork has the head.
There's the blood everywhere. You're not.
It's implied.
Yeah, no one's just jumping like this. It looks like it looks in the bottom corner here, like that is like the torso.
Maybe he saved that raccoon. Look at the glowing blue eyes. That's his buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Kato, but that's pretty cool.
Okay, so we got Kato dancing shadow with his raccoon friend. 2 and a blue and a black. Legendary Planeswalker Kato. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you may return one of them to its owner's hand. If you do, you may activate loyalty abilities of Kato twice this turn rather than only once. +1, up to 1 target creature can't attack or block until end of turn. 0, draw a card. -2, create a 2/2 colorless drone artifact creature token that looks like a raccoon with death touch, and when this creature leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
I think you do make a 2/2 colorless raccoon head drone with death touch. That's
that's with my
Brian. When you're right, you're right. That's a very good commander, or not commander. It's a very good planeswalker.
Mm-hmm.
Just that ability to flickering your own creatures is great already.
Sorry, I'm really disliking the face of the alternate art. It looks like it's like the robot from the Jetsons. It's Rosie's face on.
You got to remember, you weren't around for the Kamigawa, right? But Kamigawa's set, like where Kato is from, is supposed to be like steampunk Kamigawa kind of thing.
Like cyber.
Yeah, cyberpunk kind of like futuristic, like that kind of thing. So like it does make sense artwork wise, like planes wise.
I don't know if this is like a cut or not, but it just looks like his face is a blow up doll.
Kinda, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it just looks so off compared to a human. Like, you can make him look steampunk, but his face should still look human.
First off, as well, I love this next card. All of the artworks on this card is really, really cool. There's 3 of the Rat King, the Trash King. It's Karamonix, the Rat King. 1 double black for legendary creature Phyrexia and a rat. 3/3 with Toxic 1. Awesome. Other rats you control have Toxic 1. Awesome. When Karamonix enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. May reveal any number of rat cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. This is basically like Muxus. Yeah, this is basically like Muxus, and I loved Muxus. Anything, because this is an enters, right? So if you have like the Blade of Selves, so you myriad attack, you'll be able to look at the top like 15 cards of your library or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really, or top 10. I guess you only have 2 other ones you make. I play bigger commander games. Still looking at top 10 and fetching as many rats as you can. A Thrumming Stone, like this is a great Relentless Rats commander. Great Crypt Rats commander. They've really been doing a lot of cool rat stuff lately.
This artwork looks awesome.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them. Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
I really like the first
all
one
of these
though.
ones, and the fact that again your rats become poison capture rats, which is a problem.
Again, it's giving a little bit of love to probably a creature type that hasn't gotten much love lately.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't understand the artwork of this next card because it looks like she's completed in the second one, but it's not saying she's completed, and she doesn't have the Phyrexian mana. So, like, I don't.
Saying hexproofs, or are they going to be having Kaya as like one of the newer heroes?
Yeah, Kaya is definitely one of like the new planeswalkers that they're going hard on. Slothy, you take this one because I got to take the next one.
Sure. We got Kaya, Intangible Slayer, 3 double white, double black for a 6 loyalty. Kaya with hexproof, +2. Each opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life. 0, you draw 2 cards, and each opponent may scry 1. And -3, exile target creature or enchantment. If it wasn't an aura, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types.
That's a phenomenal -3. Like, obviously,
I really like, yeah.
The card's like costed high, but that's phenomenal.
I really like that.
I like all these abilities. I think they're great.
Oh, but really? You can make a creature that's someone else's enchantment?
Yeah.
1/1 Smothering Tithe.
My 1/1 doubling season will have something to say about this.
Study. Yeah, or my Ristic Study.
Yeah. The next one, I'm in love with both of the artworks of it. It's super cool.
Yeah.
And it enables, again, shenanigans. And I'm nothing but someone who likes shenanigans. It's Kemba Enduring. It's 1 and a white for a 2/2 cat cleric, which is, I like clerics as a tribe. I like cats as a tribe. When Kemba enters, when Kemba Enduring or another cat enters under your control, attach up to 1 equipment you control to that creature. Equipped creatures you control get 1/1. And it's got a mana sink for 3 double white. You create a 2/2 white cat creature token. But this just lets you, as soon as you play Kemba, you can like turn 1 Colossus Hammer, turn 2 have like a 13/13 Kemba.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could also then have a really big Jorkadine.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kemba I think is really, really cool. I don't like that it only will attach, like, I wish that every time a cat entered, I could attach an equipment to a creature. That would be my only thing about it. I don't like that I have to put it on that creature. You know, because I'd like to constantly like suit up Kemba with the ability. That being said, though, like, there's some dummy thick cats that you can get going with this, like Brimaz. Getting a Colossus Hammer Brimaz would be no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it just almost goes in as like to me, I would probably run the other cat as the commander that equips all his artifacts to it or whatever. Sword
Balin,
cat or knife cat.
Yeah, Balin.
And then this would just be a buff kind of creature because it gives equipped creatures you control +1/+1.
Yep. I like it. I'm probably going to build it as like I might build it as a flicker one so that I can like change my commanders around, or my things around, and put like the sword. So end step, like I'll flicker this in and out and be like, okay, well now it's got this sword on it.
Yeah.
And anything with Panharmonicon or maybe an Elish Norn. Maybe put an Elish Norn in the deck. Making it so that I get 2 equipments. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to build it for sure. I don't know what this next one does. Brian, you read this down.
Oh, I wanted to call dibs on the next one. Please, Slothy, take this one.
Both.
Sure. Kethic. Crucible Goliath. 2 black, red. Phyrexian Beast. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value. Put it onto the battlefield, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
That's kind of cool.
The alt arts definitely, I think, look cooler than main one.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a lion with like a weird looking tail.
And what's the next one you wanted?
So with my Edgar, this one will go really well in there. Kinzu of the Bleak Coven, 4 and a black legendary creature, Phyrexian Vampire. Flying, whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life and exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 and has toxic.
Blech.
One. So it would just let me recur my other vampires for me.
That's
I
just
can get another.
That's just a
That's
cool
pretty
card in
good.
general. Yeah, paying 2 life is nothing like for decks like that.
My
and especially
107 life that I had last night.
Yeah. Well, and just being able to double up as well, I think that's a really, really cool card.
Except they didn't give me any cool artwork.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like the first one that hasn't had cool new artwork.
Yeah, even the next one. I guess it is the Planeswalker, but boo.
I'll read this next one because I think Slothy would kind of like the Malk hitter. I'll just read the Koth. It's Koth Fire Resistance, 2 double red, 4/4 Legendary Planeswalker Koth, +2 you search for a basic mountain, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Not horrible. -3 Koth Fire Resistance deals damage to target creature equal to the number of mountains you control. Not again horrible. -7 you get an emblem with whenever a mountain enters under your control, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target. That's pretty great, especially with the especially like if you're like running like Valakut stuff. I like doing Valakut shenanigans a lot, so that's always good. What is the Dryad of the Elysian Grove makes everything a mountain, so like all your landfall turning it into 4 mana. This is a great card for Windgrace.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't turn it into a mountain. It just you can tap it for mana of any color.
Lands you control are each
every land.
Oh.
Yeah, Dryad of the Elysian Grove makes them all land types.
Oh, okay. I was definitely reading that wrong.
Oh yeah, so you can Valakut shenanigans. Slothy, you want this next one? Because again, I thought that you might think it's interesting.
Yeah. I actually haven't read this one yet. We got Malkator, Purity Overseer, 1 white and a blue for a 1/1 legendary Phyrexian Elephant Wizard. When Malkator, Purity Overseer enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. And at the beginning of your end step, if 3 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control this turn, create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token.
Buddy, this one doesn't even look like an elephant.
The second one or the first one?
Either of them.
The first one does. It's got its trunk. It's got tusks.
I don't know. The other one further up looked like an octopus, but they didn't want to throw the octopus in the middle of this. But we got this elephant wizard. Come on, wizards.
I like it. It's a weird one, but I like flickering stuff, so I think that this would be really cool. And I've wanted to build a golem deck for a while, but I just haven't had the commander to really put into it. But
I feel like this.
Go ahead.
I feel like this would be good in Abilator.
Oh, actually, that would be very good, being able to flicker something like that in and out.
Yeah.
And making so many tokens.
You basically flicker stuff at will in that deck, so.
This would actually go pretty good in Urza.
As well, yeah.
Because if I make 3 copies, because it doesn't say non-token, as long at the beginning of your end step, if 3 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, create another 3/3 colorless. So if I make 3 1/1s,
yep,
I get another 3/3.
Yeah, or even in a Bant with something like Bootlegger Stash.
Like I said, I like this card. It's something I could see myself building like a silly kind of blink deck with.
Mm-hmm.
I really like both artworks of this next. Malira was like a main character in the initial like Mirrodin kind of stuff. Both of these artworks I think look really, really cool. If anyone's seen the anime Made in Abyss, this second one kind of reminds me a little bit of that like art style of it. It's pretty dark anime, but it's great. I like it. Malira, the Living Cure, is 1 green, 1 white for a 3/3 human scout. Again, great stats on a lot of these things. 3/3 at 2 mana is awesome.
Yep.
If you get 1 or more poison counters, instead you get 1 poison counter and you can't get additional poison counters this turn. Not horrible.
Ooh.
Exile Malira Living Cure. Choose another target creature or artifact. When it's put in the graveyard this turn, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. So kind of like a Safi Eriksdottir ability.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
I don't as much like that it's the exile, but if it's a commander and you're trying to do like a recursion theme, then it's not horrible.
I don't like that it's creature or artifact. I would love it if it said enchantment in there.
Yeah, being able to bring your enchantments back would be phenomenal with this one.
Be able to just save it, yep. And the artwork is looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think both of those are really, really cool. The next one as well, I think, is a really neat card. The Mercurial Spelldancer. 1 in a blue. Phyrexian Rogue 2/1. It can't be blocked, so this is going to go into my Octavia deck, certainly. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put an oil counter on it. Awesome. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may remove 2 oil counters from it. If you do, when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. I really like every part of this. this is like right themed on the kind of thing that I am doing with the Octavia one. So for me, it's great. It's a great card for a ninja deck that can't be blocked as well.
Yep.
When you guys want to take this next one, it's a lot of people are saying that this is going to be one of the better cards for standard and that it's just very pushed. And it kind of is. It has a lot of text.
Yeah.
You want this one?
So we got,
yeah.
Sure. We got Meglaw's Maze Crusher, 1 red and a green for a 4/4 legendary Phyrexian beast. Enters the battlefield with 5 oil counters on it. You can pay 1 to remove an oil counter from it. Gains vigilance and menace until end of turn. You can pay 2 and remove 2 oil counters from it. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Or you can remove 3 oil counters from it to destroy target artifact or enchantment.
That's a pretty strong toolkit.
Yeah.
Especially like anything that is gonna flicker that in like a Conjurer's Closet, being able to do that every turn with your commander, having a remove oil counters to destroy like a proliferate thing. I could see this being a pretty strong deck with the all is one thing. Every time this enters, that's going to be 5 damage. All will be 1. Like I could definitely see Meglaw's like having a pretty good impact in games. Like I think a proliferate theme on this would be awesome. Being able to give your commander vigilance and menace and power dump +2/+2 onto it. So like it's either I'm gonna like hit you, and if you try block it, well, I'll make it an 8/8.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like it's and the destroy target artifact. Like so many people aren't running enough artifact enchantment removal, and this is just from the command zone built into it. I like it.
Yeah.
The next one also silly card. Mind
I like
Slice
the
Apparatus.
artwork for the Meglaw's. It kind of reminds me of like Megatron.
That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It does look very Transformer-esque.
For the first kind of look, it kind of reminded me of almost like cave wall drawings.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then in my mind, I'm like, Wizards should, like, when they do more dinosaurs, they should do cave drawing kind of art.
That's true. That would be actually really cool.
Yeah.
Didn't they do something kind of similar to that in Ikoria?
Not that I recall. Not like stonework art. They did the comic book art.
They didn't, like, for the Mythos cycle. Because when they did like cave painting.
Oh,
versions.
Yeah, they might have actually. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
I'm going to do these next 3 because I like all of these ones a lot. So, bear with me.
Probably be the perfect time to wrap it up anyways.
We're almost actually done it, so we'll just finish them here today. We've got Mind Splice Apparatus, 3 and a blue. It's an artifact with flash. Beginning of your upkeep, you put an oil counter on it. Instants and sorceries you cast are 1 less for each oil counter on it. That's a really cool card. That it just keeps going up and up and up, like especially like the fact that you could flash it in. It's already gonna start going off basically from your first turn onwards, and any proliferating that, like again, being able, if this has like 10 counters on it because I'm gonna proliferate and I just can blue sun zenith people for 10 with 2 blue mana, that's great, or 3 blue, whatever it is.
I could see Sherman using this one.
I've got a bunch of decks I would use this into. Like I play a lot of like the Storm, like Veyran, that kind of stuff. It's got a great spot in it. We also have Mirian's Safe House, which is again a great card for decks that run stuff like this. It's 3 mana. As long as it's on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all land cards in all graveyards. So if you're running something like this, like you can blow my guy's Cradle up and be like, I'll tap Mirian's Safe House for all my creatures. You can there's a lot of really, really cool lands, like a Thespian Stage, any of those things. Even
Tabernacle.
Yeah, true. No, Tabernacle's not activated, so we're at least good. But it's just even the fact that it can tap for, like, if you're playing any artifact themed deck, this turns this into a anything that's recurring artifacts, or like in your Urza, this turns it into just a constant fetch land.
Oh, also you could what's it called? There's the white land that lets you bring back enchantments.
Hall of Helios Generosity, yep.
Yeah, and I think there's another one too.
Yeah. So this,
that's fantastic.
This next one as well is a land I'm very excited for, because I love having utility in the land section, and this is going to go again in Octavia. This is Mirex, so it's a new kind of land called a sphere. It taps for a colorless, awesome. Taps to add 1 mana of any color, activated only if it entered this turn. So a very, very good one, like turn 1 card kind of thing, or you're not penalized for having it when you need it. You know, it's there's so many cards that come down as colorless and they're only colorless, but this basically color fixes for the turn you need, which is great. Then it has a cool ability that I like a lot. 3 and a tap, you create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might with Toxic 1 and it can't block.
Okay.
So just, for me, that's just turning into things to swing with Octavia for 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to take the next one too.
That has Toxic, yeah.
I got to take the next one too. I love it. It's Might Overseer, 3 and a white for a Phyrexian Soldier with First Strike. As long as it's your turn, creatures you control get 1/0 and First Strike, which is just a good card. It's a good soldier card as well. Then it has a mana sink of 3 colorless, 1 Phyrexian white. You create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1 and it can't block. I love that. There's a lot of decks that I would put that in, like my Selvala, where I'm always looking for a mana dump.
Yeah, like just the mites. I really like it, especially because there is like other cards that make so many of these little mites. I love seeing them on cards now.
Wild, Brian. Take the next one.
But don't let me get back up there. Okay, here we go. So we have Monument to Perfection. 3 colorless, tap it, search your library
colorless.
for... Oh yeah, so it is 2 color. I jumped right down to the body. So it is 2 colorless to bring it in, but you tap 3 colorless, search your library for a basic sphere or locus land card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. Pay 3, Monument to Perfection becomes a 9/9 Phyrexian construct artifact creature. Loses all abilities and gains indestructible and toxic 9. Activate only if there are 9 or more lands with different names among the basic sphere and locus lands you control.
I love this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A 9/9. So, Brian, first off, you can clone not only this card, but you can clone the artifact with Urza.
Yep. And then I'll just pay 3 and make all of my things 9/9s with Toxic 9.
Well, and it's so funny because with Urza and stuff, right? The Monument to Perfection. Oh yeah, I guess Urza's ability doesn't even matter for it because you can copy the Monument to Perfection, but if you do it, even if you do it on this, it'd be hilarious. It would be a 1/1 indestructible with Toxic 9. That'd be
the 1/1 would turn into a 9/9.
No, because like if I'm saying you could just clone straight out the 9/9 and not have to pay the 3.
Oh, that's true because it is an artifact.
Yeah,
but so then it goes down to a 1/1. It would be best to
with Toxic
copy
9.
The artifact. Oh yeah, the 1/1s with 9.
That's hilarious.
That's what I call when I'm able to actually copy the Blightsteel. I just call it my mini Blights.
This is not a bad card for white either. Oh, yeah, I'll take this, Slothy. I think you'd like this next one as well. I thought you would. Norn's Wellspring. 1 and a white. Whenever a creature you control dies, you scry 1, put an oil counter on Norn's Wellspring, and you pay 1, tap it, remove 2 oil counters from Norn's Wellspring, you draw a card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. You take the next one here, Slothy, and then you said you got to bounce out.
Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This is Ovika Enigma Goliath. 5, a blue and a red for a 6/6 legendary Phyrexian Nightmare with flying. Ward 3 and pay 3 life. And that's insane. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create X 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens, where X is the mana value of that spell. They gain haste until end of turn.
I love it.
I love that so much.
The able to go into like a goblin semi-tribe with a spellcaster's theme is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah,
that's really a neat one. Actually, I think I would actually build that.
Mm-hmm. Do we want to just end it there then, Brian? For now, yeah. Well, because I was going to say it probably messes your video up and everything. So, yeah, we'll end there. We'll do a quick part 2. It shouldn't take too long for next week's. We'll do a quick part 2, and then we can do the thing I wanted to do about the 28 commanders kind of thing. So we will end there. I will hit my lovely music. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like all our content, you can check all of it out at into99.com. Constantly new videos on YouTube of us playing games. You can see some of these deck techs we do. We're launching more Patreon stuff, so there'll be lots of like chances to interact with us, like more, play some games with us coming up. If you like any of these cards and they're too expensive, like a $270 Junji Ito foil, maybe check out Abyss Proxy Shop. Promo code IT99. He's got lots of great proxies that can help you not break the bank when you're trying to get these new. Like I said, there's so many high value cards, and obviously all of us can't afford all the ones we want from this, even just from this initial list. So yeah, go check that stuff out. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. We really appreciate everyone who comes out every week with it. You guys are awesome. Thanks again. And yeah, that's all my rant for now. Did I miss anything? Oh, if you like our content, feel free to give us a 5-star review, because I would really appreciate it. It helps us get found even more. Or give us whatever you think. If you think that I'm wrong and keep calling Simic Boros, then it is what it is. Feel free to put that in the comments. But you have to put 5 stars on that one too. So anyways, thank you guys so much, and bye-bye.
Guys.
Yeah.